The Fairly OddParents was a Nicktoon with a very broad appeal. It had a super creative premise that was relatively relatable on multiple levels. The humor in the show was lighthearted, remaining child-friendly, but there were also many references thrown in there that an older audience could enjoy as well. Of course, over time, the show would have run its course and lost its steam, to which the producers would respond by throwing in random characters such as Poof, Sparky, and Chloe. But let's not talk about that. No, today I want to talk about a time when Fairly OddParents taught us an important life lesson. For being a lighthearted children's show, Fairly OddParents was no stranger to tackling sensitive social issues such as the constant abuse that Timmy would endure from his babysitter Vicky, or how Chester McBadbat and his dad Bucky lived in poverty. There was one particular episode that I'd like to talk about today that both tackled a massive social issue and taught us a very valuable life lesson. The Fairly OddParents episode titled The Boy Who Would Be Queen wasn't particularly funny in my opinion, but it does deserve leagues of praise for tackling sexism and gender equality when it premiered back in 2001. In the beginning of the episode, we see Timmy Turner enjoying a soap opera called Kissy Kissy Goo Goo at lunch, all while his friends are judging him for enjoying something they classify as for girls, which is a sad stereotype, leaving Timmy feeling the need to explain himself for enjoying a simple TV show. Then, Timmy's crush, Trixie Tang, comes up to talk to everyone at lunch, but unfortunately, girls and geeks speak a different language.
Let me use my girl to geek translator.
Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. Who blah, blah, blah didn't? Blah, blah, blah. I get invited to my birthday party tomorrow.
The premise of the episode revolves around Timmy getting invited to Trixie's birthday party on the expectation that he brings her a great gift. The big issue at hand being that Timmy doesn't know what girls like, so he isn't sure what he should get Trixie for her birthday. He ends up talking to Cosmo and Wanda about it.
Like I wish I was a girl. What a waste of a wish.
After laughing at the idea in a misogynistic manner, Wanda takes it upon herself to turn Timmy into a girl without his consent. It ends up working out in Timmy's favor though, as he can now think like a girl, giving him an advantage in picking out a perfect birthday present for Trixie, but of course Cosmo has to rag on him.
Who cares what you think? You're a girl now!
And Wanda gives him a taste of his own medicine.
Can I get the door for you, ma'am?
Which leads to Timmy wishing that they would swap genders as he goes off to the mall to find the perfect present for Trixie. As he gets to the mall, Timmy learns that even as a girl, he still likes comic books, so he goes into the comic shop. He fights with someone for the last copy of a specific comic book, but he comes to find out that the person he was fighting was actually Trixie Tang in disguise. She explains that she feels the need to keep her love for comic books a secret because her friends might think she's weird.
No, I'm in here by accident. Understand? Accident. If word gets out I like boy stuff, all my friends will think I'm weird.
I really feel for Trixie in this moment. She feels the need to hide who she truly is because of how those closest to her will react, which is sad. No one should have to hide something about themselves for anyone, let alone their closest friends and family. Trixie decides that Timmy's female alter ego, dubbed Timantha, is her new best friend. As they leave the comic shop, Timantha runs into Timmy's best friends Chester and AJ. AJ is basically in love with Timantha, while Chester, throughout the entirety of this episode, is terrified of girls.
Hi?
Dead frog? Don't do it! It's a trap!
We see Timantha and Trixie at the salon in the mall getting the spa treatment, and Trixie opens up with Timantha about how she wishes she could meet a boy who is confident enough to admit that he likes Kissy Kissy Goo Goo.
Really? But I'll bet he'd never come in here. Well, he should. If boys did more girl stuff, then girls would be able to do more boy stuff.
Now, this is the kind of message that should be broadcast to children. Kids need to understand that gender doesn't dictate what you can like or how you should behave. I like to think that messages like this being showed to us at a young age is a contributing factor as to why more and more millennials and Gen Z people end up being so open-minded and not judging someone based on their gender or their orientation. After hearing those words, Timantha grabs Trixie by the hand and drags her off.
Where are we going? Where girls fear to tread.
They head to the arcade where we again see Chester and AJ. AJ, still head over heels, tries to impress the girls with a dead frog. Chester, on the other hand, fears for his life and drags AJ over to the bathroom to hide from the girls.
Don't you think you're overreacting?
Dude, boys like comics, girls like dolls. Boys like video games, girls like makeup. We're different! That's why we have different bathrooms.
Am I in the wrong room?
This clip, in my opinion, was way ahead of its time. This was about 15 years before the concept of a gender-neutral bathroom was really considered and implemented, and Chester behaves exactly how boomers react at just the idea of a gender-neutral bathroom.
Nothing makes sense anymore! Frog?
After the arcade, Tamantha and Trixie's day at the mall ends with Trixie being really thankful because all she has ever wanted was a friend who won't hold her to archaic gender stereotypes. Trixie leaves Tamantha with this sentiment.
If you were a boy, I'd totally date you. See you at my party. Bye! Oh, you'll see me all right.
Which results in Timmy thinking he has the perfect birthday present for Trixie. Trixie is left feeling let down when Tamantha doesn't show up for her birthday party, but then Timmy shows up and tells her exactly what he knows that she wants to hear.
Blah, 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 blah. That's what everyone expects you to be. A friend to you. Someone who isn't afraid to say, hey, I like Kissy Kissy Goo Goo and Skull Squisher.
Just when Trixie starts to acknowledge how sweet that was, she looks over at her girlfriends and decides to call security to 86 Timmy from her birthday party. Trixie, being superficial as she is ready to overcome the boundary of gender equality, but isn't ready to overcome the social bias of being friends with someone like Timmy, who she views as a geek, while she herself is considered a popular, cool kid. But Timmy doesn't let that bring him down.
But she catapulted you out of the party!
Yeah, but she did it with love.
The episode ends with Timmy, having learned that gender roles are essentially a myth perpetuated by a toxic social norm, going to the salon in the mall to get pampered with a group of older ladies as they bounce between watching Kissy Kissy Goo Goo and wrestling. There's a few valuable lessons that we can take away from this episode, the biggest one being that you shouldn't be ashamed of something harmless that you like based on fear or criticism by others. On a more common sense level, regardless of one's gender, they should be treated with respect as evidenced by Cosmo saying,
Who cares what you think? You're a girl now!
We can also gather understanding for the fact that we as a society should be mindful of respecting someone's pronouns and their gender. When Timmy was turned into a girl and Cosmo and Wanda poked fun at him and called him ma'am in an offensive manner, it really acts as an eye-opener to the struggles and stigma that trans people face every day. In this episode, at face value, as it was perceived when it premiered back in 2001, those jokes were thrown at Timmy in a way to jab at him because he's just a 10-year-old boy who was just turned into a girl when he didn't want to be. It was more intended to be in a lighthearted fashion and being broadcast to a society that was a lot different than society is nowadays. The jabs being thrown at Timmy, in my opinion, can be viewed a lot differently in 2021 than they were 20 years ago. But as a whole, I feel like content like this helped positively form a generation. I know an astonishing amount of people in my age range that are genuinely mindful of people's pronouns and are inclusive of everyone regardless of how they identify. I can say that I'm proud to be part of a generation that is doing their part to rid the world of judgments based on anyone's gender, orientation, race, or any other factor that tends to be used to wrongfully categorize someone. And it's episodes like this that I can go back and watch that remind me of how much what we were watching as kids helped shape us to who we are today.
I am once again asking for your financial support.
Hey, I need your help. According to Social Blade future projections, they expect me to hit 500 subscribers by my birthday, which is in 4 months. I need your help because I want to prove Social Blade wrong and reach 500 subscribers before my birthday. And according to YouTube analytics, only about 5% of my viewers are subscribed to my channel. All I ask is that if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel. It helps me a ton and you get to be a part of my YouTube journey. I mean, it's a no-brainer. You get more awesome content like this, and come on, why wouldn't you want that? Even if you don't subscribe though, thank you very much for watching this video. I appreciate your time and I will see you in the next one. Peace.